Hey, welcome back. It's your favorite weekly movie review show, The Movie Club with Friends. How is that for an opening, you guys? Did you like that one?
His favorite is
I
the...
don't like that name.
You don't like Movie Club with Friends? Do you not like friendship? What's wrong with you?
This is everything that we are, Jared. Anyways.
That was Tanner. That was Tanner.
Oh, sorry. They're both negative. Anyways.
I'm 100% positive.
We're back. It's another week. It's the end of the cycle, even though we've missed 2 episodes for reasons. So this week was my choice, Looper. I guess I'll just say why I picked it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's fairly recent. I am going over to my internet movie.
2012.
2012. Which is recent for me, I guess. So I just really like this movie. I think they did a lot of things differently than other movies of its genre. So by that I mean I don't think it followed just like
contradicting itself.
Your tropes and stuff. Oh, contradicting itself. Okay, Jeff. Yeah, we'll talk about this. So I'm gonna bring up my notes, I guess, because I'm going first. So I'm gonna give this movie an 8, and I loved it. So there are just little things at the beginning of the movie, stuff like, so younger Joe, looks at himself in the mirror, and he's like looking at his like receding hairline. There are just little things like that they do really well, because we know we don't know yet, but he's gonna go bald if he's Bruce Willis. Jason Gordon-Levitt also does like an incredible job playing like a young Bruce Willis, because Bruce Willis is the same character in every movie. He has
a badass.
He always has the same like mannerisms, like he squints his eyes, the way he sits.
So impatient. Like every movie he's ever been in, he's just like this impatient man. Like,
yeah.
He's the most impatient person.
So I just think he did a really good job like imitating Bruce Willis. So there are little things like the way they introduce the TKs and how it's not a big point of the movie until later on, until you either figure out that the Rainmaker is a TK or until like you really find out at like the end of the movie, right? Where other movies, if it was about a psychic child, well, that's what it would be about. But the psychics really aren't the main focus of the movie at all.
Yeah, it really was. I will agree with you. They did do a really good job of being like, oh, here's this thing. It was kind of like weird, like in the beginning.
That's kind of made it like obvious foreshadowing, though. Like you knew this was coming up, because otherwise it was completely pointless.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool if they introduced other things and like those weren't important. I couldn't really give you an example, but whatever. So rewatching it, one thing I didn't like was when Joe comes out and saves her from the mongrel, and it's some like blind death guy or whatever, and how he just like walks away. I was like, why did he just leave? Why this guy begging for money just walk away after he pushed her on the ground?
I like it.
He didn't push her, she fell backwards.
Or yeah, whatever.
Yeah, she did fall backwards and somehow like twisted her ankle.
I think he was mentally handicapped, by the way, Mike.
Sure.
Yeah, he makes a reference to it.
He calls him retarded hobo later in the movie.
Yeah, but they, like, by looking at him, they don't... My point is he's coming up to her because he wants money or food or help, and then she falls on the ground, and he stands in front of her, and he's just like, durr, and like steps back into the shadows. I just thought it was a weird scene. Okay.
That was kind of weird.
I hear people use the word mongrel very often as a super side note. I
like the word, though.
just like looked up like what it means.
I
and it's
think-
like
I think
really fucking harsh.
I think of Mongolians, but probably just because it sounds
or
similar.
Vongrel,
Yeah,
or
don't you
Vagrant,
ever
or
say
Vagrant.
or mongrels.
Vagabond?
Okay, so other thing I noticed was meeting their love interest, future Joe and present Joe, were very similar situations. They both got hit in the face the first time they saw them. They both helped them get over drugs. They're both kind of like a strong kind of female personality.
We don't really know that much about older Joe's wife.
I think but it can be
You don't
applied
really
because
need to, though.
she flips him off very smugly. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's not going to take his shit if he's going to continue being a piece of shit, right? That's what I kind of got from it.
I agree.
And so,
Yeah, I don't think you need to know I don't think you need to know a lot about older Joe's wife, other than that, like, she's like obviously like a good person.
yeah.
And she was sweet. Like, I don't think there was anything to gain about like knowing more about her.
Yeah. So this is one of these movies that every time I watch it, I notice something differently. And so this time, when Joe and Sid are in that tunnel and they're looking at the farmhouse, and Joe talks about his childhood and how he got on that train and thought about killing all those men that did like whatever to his mom. That's like what made the Rainmaker the Rainmaker. Because that's exactly what happened to him to make him who he is, and like why he would be ending these loopers and stuff.
I sort of disagree, and I'll explain during my part.
Okay. But that's just kind of what... That's...
It had to...
No, well...
I want Jared to
Yeah, let's
just
talk
go
about
through
this.
it.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so my thing is... So basically, we see from Bruce Willis's point of view, he closed his loop the first time through. So basically, Bruce Willis couldn't have caused the Rainmaker in his own timeline. So something else had to have caused the original Rainmaker. So it wasn't younger Joe telling this kid this in Bruce Willis's timeline.
Okay.
Could have created him in this timeline, but thankfully that got averted. We hope.
But... This is...
You see what Jared's saying?
No, I understand what he's saying, but what the movie is also kind of talking about is some kind of destiny and some kind of loop, some kind of endless cycle. And basically, this is some kind of weird, fucked up time paradox where this kind of just keeps happening and happening until young Joe figures it out and offs himself.
This is like my problem with time movies. I'll be honest. Like I like this, but like I always like have like if I think too much about it, like Garrett afterwards was just like, oh well, blah blah blah. He's like talking to me about like the timelines and stuff. I'm like, man, like I just can't, like, cause like this is what makes this obviously science fiction, because nothing I could do, like I'm like this is not gonna make sense to me because it doesn't make sense. Like it just doesn't. Like it's
if it makes sense, if you think we don't have the full story, we're presented one timeline basically. It's 1.5.
It's a movie, right? Time travel doesn't exist, right, in real life, so it's a fictional thing. So basically, they can write it however they want it to go, but. You know, in the movie itself, they're like, I don't want to fucking talk about time travel. We don't need to talk about time travel. It exists. We're going to be here all day. This is what's happening. This is what's important. The time travel is not important.
Yeah, I agree. Like that. I don't think I would benefit for talking more about time travel in this movie. Like because at the end of the day, like it's just like this fake. It's the science fiction part of the movie. It's the thing that's making it add more drama to it. Like, but it's just like I don't need. Like I know there's like a million different scenarios that could be happening at once.
Side note: has anyone here seen Primer?
No.
Oh, I should make you guys watch that. That'll really piss you off if you like science or time travel.
Okay, so I think I'm basically done. I really like the movie. Those are just some of the things that I kind of noticed and wrote in my notes this time watching it.
I'm sure you'll have more to say later.
Yeah, I'll chime in and shit. Sarah's story about how she was a stronger than average TK makes sense that her child ends up being like a super fucking TK, right?
Yeah.
So we'll let Jared talk next, though.
So, yeah,
Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt really fast because I have like this thought and I forgot it and then it's coming back. So yeah, thinking too much about time travel. That's exactly what ends up happening. Like in my mind, because if I think too much about it, then it happens like Rick and Morty. I don't know if anyone's like how much anyone's watched Rick and Morty. You have like all these millions of Ricks and all these millions of Mortys, and they're all time traveling all the time. And I just like that's like the part of Rick and Morty that I fucking hate because it makes sense though. You know what I mean? Like that, it makes sense. Like and if and like to me, if I think about it too much, I'm like, oh, that's what Looper should have been. Like, why aren't like there like a million Joes going on, you know, and these like time, like all these different scenarios. But I feel like if you overcomplicate it, it's just kind of irritating, and it's like the worst part for Rick and Morty for me. It's like just all of the millions of Ricks and all the millions of Mortys, and you just know which one you're talking about all the time. It's just, I know it's a show, so that's all I'm gonna take away.
Okay. Jared?
Okay, so I like this movie. I'm giving it 8 out of 10, but I'm just going with liked. Wow.
What? You're gonna give it a 10, but you're gonna give it a
I'm
like.
giving it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, okay. I thought you were giving it a 10.
Yeah, it's a perfect movie, but I only really like.
Yeah. I'll start with a couple things I didn't like. So the kid, while he did have his part, I think that they made him too maybe smart or observant, considering his only power was TK. I thought he was going to have like more, that he would be the superhero that was talked about earlier, because he seemed to just know more things than I feel like he should have. He also knew about the conspiracy about 8 times 3 being 32. I agree with him completely. Yeah, that was one part he wasn't smart about. But other than that,
he was doing it to piss her off.
he was otherwise, he just seemed to be a little bit above and beyond, considering he didn't have any telepathic powers, just telekinesis. I don't know. That's my the one little thing that annoyed me.
Okay.
Other than that, I really like the time travel aspect of this. I like that they paid them in gold and silver. What I like that is you can't pay people in the past with cash, because if you send future money, that's just counterfeit for all intents and purposes. If you send them money from the past, that's just duplicate currency in the system. But you pay them with something like silver or gold, that lasts forever. You can't really trace that. So it's kind of a good system when you're dealing with inter-time business.
And it's like a really small note that I didn't even think about.
Yeah,
but
commodities would be good to use in that sense. Yeah.
So, I really liked that. So what I didn't think it was a time paradox was going on, but there was something I was thinking about today, because I watched the video last night. It's entirely possible that this thing that happened here is not the first, like, Joe's not the first time person who's escaped and then gone on to affect the timeline by being out there long enough. And then anything that happens would effectively erase what's happening in this timeline. So if they get killed later. So it's possible, like, this isn't the first time that time has been messed with. So I was thinking that something like that had happened previously, which is what caused the Rainmaker in Bruce Willis's timeline, which is why he hated loopers. I didn't think it was anything in this timeline that affected it until, what's his name, killed himself. So
that makes sense.
Obviously we just don't have the full story, obviously, and that's intentional, and that's fine. We don't need the full story. We're just looking at this one character, what happens to him as a looper, and the complications that arose with it. I did like how his friend got chopped to pieces. I felt that was a little bit cruel, but I kind of understood why they did it.
I love, yeah, that part is fucking insane.
God, it was so intense.
All this shit just disappearing.
Fucking poor Paul Dano, or Dana, I don't know how to say his name. But
yeah. So 2 more points that kind of annoyed me with this movie is why I couldn't probably give it a 10. First of all, what's the actor's name again? I can never remember his first name.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah, thank you. This prosthetics, I know, I've heard before even seeing this movie, I heard this complaint, but yeah, it was extremely inconsistent. Sometimes he looked normal, sometimes he looked like a completely different person. You could have told me they cast 2 people to play the same role, I would have believed you. He just looked really different.
Yeah, there were some shots where I was like, what is going on with his face?
Yeah.
But it's to make him look more like Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yeah.
This is the thing that I did a lot of research on. See, this is the problem whenever you cast people who are super famous.
He
Because
didn't
I
want
feel,
to put on any.
yeah, because I feel like I wouldn't have had a bad of a like. I feel like this wouldn't have been as bad if I didn't know this actor beforehand. But like, I'm like, this does not look like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Like, I looked multiple times in the movie to be like, are you sure this is Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Like, are we sure? Like, I was not sure. And so I did some research. Apparently, like, that's like what like the director and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis really wanted to do, and apparently like so they got like the like super famous makeup artist to like do it, and one of them like was like essentially like at one point begging like, I don't want to do this, like this is going to be way too complicated, like I don't think this is going to turn out well at all with all this makeup, but then they managed to convince him, which I'm sure like involved more money, but yeah, apparently it would take them hours, and they changed like so many different things. Like they gave Joseph Gordon-Levitt an upper lip, like smaller, pulled back his ears, like messed with his eyebrows, contact lenses. Like they did so much stuff to him. Like he just like it's just so distracting. And like I said, I feel like I'd be totally fine if it was a totally different actor, because Joseph Gordon-Levitt is so well known, especially in 2012 when this movie came out. Even now, yeah.
I did not notice anything you guys are talking about at all.
Really?
To me, he still looked like.
I need to go back now and like look at his face. I guess I never really paid that much attention. Is it really that obvious?
To me, he looked like him still.
And certain scenes he looked exactly like himself. Other scenes I couldn't recognize him at all. It was weird.
Yeah.
Wow,
I didn't have that.
The thought never entered my mind.
No, it's very weird. Too
And
much
then-
makeup.
The only other thing that really bugged me was the movie didn't really play with the idea of like the butterfly effect at all. Like I said, with his friend being chopped up, unless his friend had no effect on time over the next 30 years, no effect on anybody else's life, that should have had kind of major repercussions, effectively chopping him to pieces. But apparently it just didn't affect anything at all, what we could tell. So yeah.
Yeah.
That goes into my whole thing. Like, yeah, like that's like my issue. Like, you can't think. I just can't think about
to
time
me,
travel that much.
It's.
I just didn't want to make it a plot point. I understand. It was
Yeah,
just kind of noticeable.
I think it's kind of talked about where. Because Bruce Willis is when he's like kind of complaining about how it like hurts when he does things differently, and then his like memories get changed, or I guess it's always happening, but it's kind of like a fate, not a fate thing, but like when you're back in time, you're there. I don't know. I honestly I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, I can't explain it. I can't.
We can't think of it. I'm like, I don't want to talk about time travel.
Okay.
I think I might have had one more point.
Yeah, do you got anything else?
Let's see. Talked about that.
I'll go after Jared.
Oh, okay, Jeff.
No, if I think about it later, I'll
Yeah.
bring it up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. So I thought this movie was really good. I'll start off with my score. I'll give it an 8 and a liked. This movie did a lot of things good, and there were very few things wrong with it. The few things I'm going to nitpick are, so in movies, sci-fi movies or any kind of fictional movie, any kind of movie that has fantasy elements, sci-fi elements or whatever, they set initial rules in their world in the beginning of the movie, and I believe in this movie they broke those rules a few times, which I do not like.
Explain.
I think those rules need to be followed, and breaking them makes me mad. So I will explain. So first example is when Bruce Willis loses his finger, like his finger is slowly disappearing or whatever, and he's like surprised at that, whatever. Why is he surprised, and like why is he like what's going on?
Not Bruce Willis, the other
that
Looper.
That was the friend.
It could be like the what was it, Back to the Future, whatever, when like ripples in time, so the memories didn't catch up to the body.
No, and it's like how Bruce Willis is saying like oh, like when you do something, I remember it after you do
Yeah,
it.
remember they had the friend asleep, like he was surgically put to sleep, so this guy actually wouldn't have any memory being chopped up.
Or
Again,
that too, right? So, but at the same time, it's like, so they chop his finger off, so then that memory hits him in his brain in the present, and then he's like, oh shit, like my fucking finger.
And then when they're at the diner and they're talking, Bruce Willis is talking about, you know, how he knows what Jordan Levitt, whatever, is thinking at the same time, you know, before he's going to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like some stuff doesn't add. And then at the finale of the movie, when Levitt kills himself and then Bruce Willis disappears, but everything that has happened up until that point, Joseph, what did I call him?
Jordan.
Jordan.
I think Mike called him Jason at one point. So I think we're
Sorry, yeah.
when you know, Bruce Willis disappears, but everything that has happened up until that point has still happened, even though
I think where I meant the butterfly
doesn't
effect
exist anymore.
Yeah.
So that's
So in that sense, that means that there's different timelines, you know, different. So okay, yeah, there's a lot of issues, a lot of conflicts, and I agree with everything we've said before. Where if we think about it too much, it's bad and it's not going to be fun. It's not good. So I kind of cast that aside. You know, those are my little points that I'm angry about and upset about.
So,
you
but
know,
I agree with that.
Just really quickly, like, so it's about destiny, right? It's about breaking this chain, this loop, this cycle. That's what this movie's kind of about, right?
Okay,
like
I can see that, but at the same time,
he's a
it is
drug
about that, and
addict.
it sets rules, and it's still breaking those rules.
He's a drug addict. He's this looper. He's just doing the same day over and over and over again, right? And he's getting fucking tired of it. And what happens? This thing happens to make him break his routine, his loop, his chain.
And we all agree with this. I think Jeff's basically saying, like, the physics stopped working. It's like people could suddenly fly at the end of the movie, effectively.
Well, okay, and, like, it's like when I saw Wanted in theaters. The people I saw it with, they complained about how they were bending bullets, and I was like, but it's a fucking movie.
Those are the rules set by the world.
Exactly.
In that movie.
Yep.
So in movies, you have to go in and be like, okay, well,
But anyway,
unless
fine,
it's
anyway.
really
So
badly
what
done.
I'm
Okay.
saying is this is a good movie, and that is a point that I'm just slightly upset about, but shouldn't be focused on.
Yes.
When you're talking about the whole movie.
Exactly.
The movie, to me, you know, I agree. It's a lot of fate. It's a lot about him realizing how much of a shitty person he is, because, you know, when they're at the diner together, he looks at himself, at his future self, and sees, wow, I'm still a shitty person. I should probably change. And then he does.
Hey, that's one
Movie
thing I want to
value-
bring up. Bruce Willis's character is extremely selfish, is the one thing on.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I
He
like.
killed children. He killed
Yes,
little
when
children.
he shot that kid, I was like, that's sad. It's such a sad moment. And I love when they're in the diner though, and he's like, yeah, it's weird looking at your face. It's like backwards.
Because you see it in
Also-
a mirror and it's technically backwards.
Yeah.
He ordered his steak, and then he got his steak 30 seconds later.
Okay, it wasn't
Time
maybe
travel, Jeff.
Fucking
Jeff,
they're using
maybe-
time travel technology. in
maybe
their
they were
kitchen.
having a long conversation and it's skipping ahead.
That was movie time too.
Yes,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Movie time, like every.
That's that's like, oh, that's not even something
Ruined
you
the
should
movie.
brought up.
Changing my score. 4 out of 10.
Fucking
Okay, honestly,
Yeah,
so
really
since we're talking about the point where like Bruce Willis kills that kid, so immediately after that, I did want to ask you guys because I was kind of confused by the scene when it immediately like transitions to the future or whatever of him being with his wife in China, and then they hear like a baby crying. And I know that they said in the movie that they weren't able to have children, but like, why in this memory that he has do they hear babies crying or to hear a baby crying?
I think
like,
maybe
immediately-
he's getting closer to his end goal. If he had killed all 3 kids, he might have actually got that back. He may have gotten back to that future, and then the killing of the first one was setting him on that path.
So that's why like that memory hit him.
Also, another
That
broken
makes
rule
sense.
is so in the future, you know, it's impossible to kill people because, you know, the
Oh yeah, that's bullshit.
and that's why they send people in the past to kill people. Okay, what, they fucking killed Bruce Willis's wife like it was nothing.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Rule breaking.
The only thing I can say is, oh fuck, we fucked up. That was like an accident, and bad stuff was gonna happen because they killed her, or maybe because they were in China and it's like a cesspool or something. Maybe they're talking about, when they talk about it's impossible to get away with murder, maybe they're talking about America.
Maybe they're talking about what?
Sorry, America.
But why would he have told him to move to China, not France, then? I'm pretty sure China's like the leader in the world, I feel like, at this point.
I think he told him that because he knew where he was going to end up.
So then I think, okay, but because when they killed her, it was completely an accident. So that's my argument. It was an accident. He got startled. He shot her by mistake.
Why don't they accidentally kill all the people they want to kill?
I think it's a plot hole.
It's not a plot hole, because clearly they're sending people back that they want to disappear. It's not just some random street thug.
So they're sending these ultra-professional people to capture a professional killer, and these ultra-professional people get startled by a woman bringing in groceries into her own home.
No, those are the Gatman. The Gatman are fucking stupid. They're thugs, dude. They're sending back people that clearly that the mob wants dead.
Oh, speaking of which, actually, make one other point. I like that one guy. The guy who found them out in the farmhouse.
Yeah.
He got ripped apart by the kid. I actually he pointed the gun at the kid, realized what he was doing, and stopped himself. Like, he wasn't a complete monster. He didn't want to kill that kid.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that led to his own death.
And that's why he said, he's one of the best shots, because there's the other Gatman that he knows, like Kid Blue or whatever, who's a fucking moron.
Yeah, right.
Do you have anything more to say, Jeff? Sorry.
Yeah, besides all of that stuff, I want to talk about what's good in the movie.
Okay.
Which there's a lot of good in the movie. I thought the pacing was really well done. I thought all the actors were great picks. I thought the strong female lead, I thought she was fantastic in her role. She was a great, role model for the child. And I thought the story of a child needing a mother and a child requiring love to grow as a good person instead of becoming a monster, I thought that was well done. I enjoyed the kid going Super Saiyan at the end. That was neat.
Yeah.
There's a lot done well in this movie, and it was very enjoyable from start to finish, I thought.
Okay. Let's hear from July.
My name is... Okay, edit, learn. Do your job. Anyway, so okay, so I think I'll talk a little bit about how my ratings for the movie. You guys are distracting me. So I think for the most part, I would say it's a great movie. Highly recommend. I'd give it an 8, and I liked it. It was phenomenal. And wait, stop. You guys, stop.
What?
No, don't worry. Just keep talking.
Okay. So I thought it was a really, really good movie. I think this is like one of the few movies that have surprised me in a really long time. Like, I really did not see the ending coming. I'll be honest with you. Even though, like, afterwards I was like, I was like so surprised. Like, I did not see that coming. And I was like, Gabe, Garrett, like, did you see that coming? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, oh, my bad. I did not see that coming. So the first time we started watching this movie, and I was baking my carrot cake at the same time, and so I missed like the first minute, like I was just listening to it. So we had to restart the movie because I was so fucking lost. And so to anyone listening here, if you miss the first like 5 minutes of this movie, you're gonna be fucking lost. So don't miss the first 5 minutes of this movie. But yeah, like, we literally had to restart it. I just kept asking like a million questions, and then we rewatched it, and I was like, oh, that was explained perfectly. should Should have been listening the whole time.
Mhm.
I think I've already been talking a little bit about my feelings towards it. I think it was a great movie. I thought all the actors were phenomenal. Even like the secondary actors, like the little kid was awesome. He was super creepy. Like I could see him being a serial killer for sure in the future. But also at the same time, I could see him being like a super cute kid. Like he did a really good job going from me being like, oh my god, that's so cute, to oh my god, he's terrifying. So I thought it's pretty unique. Overall, it's just a good film. I think I already mentioned all the things that I wanted to say.
The lessons that present Joe was teaching him was kind of leading him more towards being angry.
It was leading him more to being angry?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. Like all the conversations they had, like I said, like the conversation they had in the tunnel really affected him.
Yeah, I don't know. I always have like a super hard time with that stuff too, because like for me, like it's just such a different path. Like even when Joseph Gordon-Levitt saw that, you know, like that Sarah sacrificed herself and he was gonna die, then he was all of a sudden gonna become the Rainmaker. Like in my mind, like that's not always gonna be true. A lot of people, whenever they have super bad scenarios happen, like I think like psychologists and people talk about this, but like it's like sometimes you're gonna go down like a really terrible path because of that, but then like almost equally you have the percentage of taking that to being like motivating you to be like a hero.
But in this situation, they know that he's going to become a villain yeah. Because like they know it's him because he's from the future. They said, oh, I don't know, people said he saw his mom get shot and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just it's just all really I don't know. Like for me, like I don't know. Like he just saw his mom sacrifice himself. I could see. I guess like it makes sense. Like he has like this vendetta against the Loopers in general. Like it goes into, if I think about it too much, I start thinking about timelines, because like I mean he met Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and like he saw like that he was a fairly good person, so I don't know why that wouldn't have helped, but you know, like that's, and then I'm thinking too much about timelines, and then it's no longer fun. I thought the movie was good. That's all I gotta say. Like it was just a really good movie, and it super surprised me. I was not expecting it.
Good.
But I want to mention one more time, the makeup was fucking distracting. I'm like, I had to look on my phone several times to see if it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, because I just could not believe it. But that's my real complaint against the movie. And also, you know, like time and fuck it, time. It's a construct. It's a concept.
It's ever in motion, Julie.
It's just dumb.
So let's hear from our boy Garrett.
All right. I guess the rating I'll give is probably 5 disliked.
Wow, you're a piece of shit, and I hate you.
At the very beginning of the movie, you know, he talked about how the crime mobs send back people back in time, and to make them disappear. And the only thing I thought was, well, why don't they just like put them in the fucking middle of the ocean, like in the Mariana Trench? Like their body will be crushed, their body will never appear.
Then there's no movie.
Exactly.
You know how many times I said this to him last night?
That's like it's like sure, yes, Garrett, that would work, but like
yeah,
then there's no movie. Then there's no story.
I thought of this at the very beginning of the movie, and I was hoping that okay, maybe they can't teleport them while they time travel them, but he was in fucking China and got teleported to Kansas whenever he time traveled, so it doesn't make any sense, and it bothered me the entire movie. I thought about this like 15 minutes in.
You're
so
right.
Okay, but
it bothered me the entire fucking movie, and I just didn't enjoy any of it.
Because then there's not a movie. There's no conflict that would happen if.
Well, the thing is you got to bring up.
Well, then come up with a better story.
Yeah, they had to come up with a workaround for why they can't do that, which Garrett said they didn't provide, so that's why it was kind of sticking.
Because, like I said, he was in fucking China whenever he got teleported.
Okay.
And then he gets put in the field in the middle of Kansas.
Was he in China?
Like,
did they not transport him somewhere?
I'm pretty sure he was still in China, because he was in a bag. He had his bag over his head.
He was probably still in China. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it is just Kansas.
I'm pretty sure. Because even then, like, they just have like 15 of these different time travel locations that somehow the government hasn't found, because every looper has their own kill zone.
Okay, so my only thing is maybe this city in Kansas is the only city that has loopers, right? Which I think maybe they talk about in the movie. So that's why all time machines that this worldwide mob use goes back to Kansas. It sends them to loopers.
Yeah, I was looking in the movie. I was trying to find a point to refute this, but I didn't hear any of it. I don't remember it ever being said that way. So that's why I didn't enjoy the movie.
Well, it is said that the mob took Abe to go back to run the loopers, right? So you can just imagine that in this world, this is the only city that has loopers.
Or they sent Abe back in time because Abe was the only one that knew the times when the people were coming.
Yeah, or that.
So yeah, I mean, again, they don't provide any kind of
evidence. Again, and they say it in the movie, they don't want to waste our time and like talk about these time travel details. That's not what this movie's about.
It's something that bothered me.
Okay.
And I didn't enjoy it.
All right, that's okay.
Is that the only thing that you didn't enjoy though? Is just like the time thing and the fact that they didn't throw people over the edge?
Yeah, basically, because I mean, but I thought of this at the very beginning, and at the whole time, I'm just looking for some way to for them to provide a workaround. And they never did. So the whole movie, I was just spent kind of bored, I guess.
Enjoy this movie less now.
Yeah.
No.
I'm changing my review to 7.
What else, Garrett?
I do think the acting was really good. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis are both fantastic. Emily Blunt was also amazing. The kid, though, I don't know why. I think I just have a thing against like young children actors. Like the cast of Stranger Things are fine age-wise, but like kids this young, I don't know why. I don't like.
It's like the kid from Star Wars, right? Just
yeah,
they're never like they're good child actors, but they're not good actors.
Yeah, I guess that would be the way to put it. Because every time the kid was in the scene, I didn't like it.
No, I do think the kid was really good in the movie. I know what you're saying.
But
yeah, I totally disagree. Just because like I do think he was a really good actor for being like, and I'm not even comparing him because he's like, I'm like, oh, for a little kid he was a good actor. I'm like, no, I think he did a really good job of being both like creepy but also like really cute and sweet. Like he's really like for someone who like I think he did a good job of like playing someone who's going through insane emotional turmoil, which is just kind of impressive. So
he did kill his mom or his adoptive mom and remembers it.
No, he killed his actual mom, didn't he?
No, Sarah's his actual mom.
Yeah, Sarah's his actual mom.
Oh shit! I guess I missed that part.
His sister.
The guy wants to give it a 4, and he didn't even watch the movie.
I didn't get that part either.
Yeah, his sister. So Sarah's sister raised Sid.
Until he was like 2.
Yeah.
And then he killed Sarah's sister.
No,
right.
they say in the movie that like he got mad or something and like
a bookshelf fell on him.
Yeah, the bookshelf, and he got scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Sarah's sister, I guess, was like, "Fuck this kid."
No, she died.
She died.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think it was like I don't think he killed her. Like it wasn't intentional. And
I'm not saying that it was intentional. I'm just saying like, as a side effect of his TK, he killed Sarah's sister.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I thought Sarah did a really good job of like being like, you know, like playing a mom that's like slightly terrified of her child too. I
like the moment when she went and hid in like the
safe.
Yeah, it's a freaking real moment right there.
Oh, I love when Joe's trying to catch Sid from falling down the stairs, and she like grabs him and like pushes him out, and he's like, "What the fuck? What is she doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and then poor Jesse turns into blood rain.
That was fucking brutal, dude.
I didn't remember his name, so yeah, poor Jesse.
You have anything else, Garrett?
No, not really. That's it.
All right, let's hear from the man down under, Tanner.
What?
Women
Oh,
go.
my muted. Oops. Wait, why am I the man down?
I don't know.
Okay. I like the movie, but especially the first time I watched it, I liked it a lot more. Looking at this movie again and I guess putting it under magnifying glass and watching it more, I didn't like it as much. I think if you sat down and you don't think about the movie and you watch the action and you listen to the story very I guess not delving too deep into it, it's a lot better. It's I would give it an 8 then, but
yeah, I agree
it,
with that.
Looking at it again and saying okay, well, why did this happen? Why did this happen? What does this mean? Why didn't they see this or whatever? I would probably say it's a 6, and I liked it still. But I think for this aspect of rating, I would give it a 6 and say I liked it. A lot of my problems have already been kind of stated. I don't, in the sense of critically thinking about a time movie, you just could never do it. You can never critically think about a time movie in an aspect and be okay. Because, when you guys are talking, it's just what if killing him sent him down another spiral that Sid was that was kind of a father figure, quote unquote, just killed himself. Maybe that's now he's, the rain fucker again. I don't remember his name. Rainmaker.
It's...
Rain fucker.
Rain fucker.
Well, okay, but... I do agree with that, but again, it's kind of about destiny and breaking this loop, and I don't think he was a father figure. He was more of a bad. I think he was a bad example for the kid.
Yeah, I mean probably. I wouldn't doubt that. He had his own demons that couldn't really get past. I don't know, I think everything's already been kind of stated. I don't like the fact that I don't know, something about like I said before, critically thinking in time movies. It's just it shits on my brain, man.
It's
shits on my brain.
It's like trying to
perfect way to say it, Tanner. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like trying to talk about the Terminator movies. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all, but they're still good movies.
Yeah, no, and that's why I said if you're not sitting down there and trying to critically think about it, it's so much better. But sitting down and watching the movie and trying to come up with points to talk about, I just kept thinking well, why didn't that have an effect? Well, why didn't that change the timeline? It was just kind of I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, what was I gonna say? Who brought it up before? Someone killing the loop was closed. I think it was Jeff when old Joe came back, and he was trying to kill the Rainmaker, but we didn't know how the Rainmaker was made. I can't remember exactly how you put it.
Because in the first, so when Bruce Willis closes his loop, right? He lives out his life. Okay, who makes the Rainmaker in that scenario? Because
yeah. So that also when he brought that up, I was like, oh well, yeah, that actually doesn't make any sense at all, because at that point it should be a loop, right? So what was happening before, it had already made it no matter what.
So
and
the only thing I could say to argue for the movie is, so Joe gets the numbers of his birthday in the hospital from some guy who called him. So there's some resistance group that is trying to stop this Rainmaker. So Jared said, maybe this isn't the first time this played out, just not with Joe.
So how do we know there's multiple assassins, basically?
Yes, other looper or people who were sent back were able to escape and basically live out the same scenario.
That there's many opportunities for this kid to fucking go AWOL.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, technically it might not have changed anything.
No, yeah, that's
maybe it didn't, but I think ultimately it does, because they talk about how oh yeah, I think he went nuts because like he saw his mom get shot or he has web feet or whatever. I think this is like the destiny moment. This is the cycle. This is the what happened to him to make him the Rainmaker. And I think Joe is the only person who took... Right, these loopers are selfish people. None of them want to die. Them killing themselves, it's weird for them. They get sent back and they still want to live. When they're young in this shitty world and they're broke, sure, yeah, give me money. I want money. I don't care about my life. And then they have a good life and they still want to live. And that's why they run. They don't want to get murdered. They don't want to get sent back and killed. So
and also,
they're selfish.
How do we know the Rainmaker was a bad guy? Because all that we really know about him is that he took over a couple cities and was closing loops. And loops are fucking like the mob. So you know.
So he's a bad guy to these loopers, right? Maybe he is a good person, but there is a scene in the future when the wife is watching the news and it says like Rainmaker and there's like explosions in the streets and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because the mob has tanks and explosives that they're trying to kill the Rainmaker.
So regardless, you know, that maybe even makes this movie more about being a selfish person where, okay, he's only really a bad guy to the mob and the loopers who are the bad people. So this is about bad people trying to live, and you know what? Joe's the first person to be like, I'm not going to be selfish. I'm not going to sit in here and watch this kid get shot.
You know,
I'm ending this now.
I think Tanner said it the best. If you turn your brain off, you'll enjoy the movie.
Yeah, way more. Like, way more. Yeah. I do.
Like, I feel bad saying, but like that too about a movie, because that just kind of like ruins the whole point of a movie.
I don't think you should feel bad about it. Just enjoying the ride. Like, that's what a movie's supposed to be.
I feel like a movie's goal should be to entertain, obviously, but it should also be to tell a story. And if you're like, but a story, like you listen to the story, but it's just like going in and out one ear, like, are you really paying attention to the story that much, or are you just there for action? Which, to be fair, you know, it has a pretty good amount of action. I like the actions. No.
Yeah.
As a super side note, I do like one of the things that like slightly bothered me at the end of the movie was when Sarah grabbed Sid after Joe killed himself, and he's just like, "What happened to Joe? Like, he had to go, baby." I'm like, "No, fucking tell Sid what Joe did. Tell him about the sacrifice he just made for you." Like, I'm just like, that's the whole point. Like, now this kid's not learning that. Like, I don't know why like that bothered me. I forgot to bring this up during my session, but like yeah, like why wouldn't you bring that up? Like, why wouldn't you use this as a mechanism to teach?
Yeah.
I mean, especially because he already killed like another guy that same day. Like,
yes. Exactly.
He's obviously been exposed to that sort of stuff.
Yes, exactly. So Sarah, fucking tell him what Joe just did to save your fucking.
Did you guys notice too? Like, she walked him back to the house and then put him in bed to go to sleep, and it was still light out. Like it looked like it was like 5:30 in the afternoon.
Well, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Go make dinner? Like, no, he's gotta put him in bed. He's probably exhausted. The whole fucking living room is covered in blood. Let's go to bed. I'm gonna clean everything up. So, Tanner, were you done, or do you have more to add?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear from Gabe.
Okay.
Where's his?
It's been what, 15 minutes since we started, so let's see what I can add. Jesus. So I have the same sentiment as most people in here, and the reason is because when I go into a movie, I like things to be explained, and I don't like just things to be thrown at me and to just like, here, I'm just going to throw some stuff at you, be entertained. Like, I'm kind of like just like you guys, analyzing it as you go, and that's where roadblocks can pop up and kind of like distract you and deter you from enjoying a movie. So I think that's why we're all kind of having these moments of like, and Jeff, I like his the way he explained it, the world breaking. That's a good way to put it, because that's like when they started doing the time traveling initially, I was like, oh god, I don't know about this. if they don't do it like Chris, I'm going to have problems with it, and I'm not going to enjoy it as much. And that's what happened for the most part.
It doesn't state its time travel rules. It doesn't talk about it.
Okay, I'm going to disregard that because we've already talked so much about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. The rating I'll give it. So disregarding the time travel, I'm going to give it a 6, and I liked it. The main reason it's kind of lower than a 7 is probably because of that, but the good things about it, just like kind of everybody else kind of pointed out, the acting was really good. I especially liked the female, I forget her name. I thought she did a really good job of being the parental figure to him. And I'll kind of pick up Julia's point. I thought the kid was really cute, but also creepy. That was a good way to put it. God, I really don't have much else because so much has been said. I guess the main point I want to make that it's kind of like my hypothesis as to why Mike likes this movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
So, what has Mike...
This is so dumb.
Thanks, Ed.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to hear this.
So, what has Mike Mike's dream job? Where would it be, and what would it be doing?
A hitman in China.
A farmer?
Is
that what you're getting at?
A motherfucking farmer. And this thing is set in Kansas, and there's fucking barns around, cornfields everywhere, and like a diner, like an old school diner. I think Mike's a little partial towards those. I think it had a lot of like settings that Mike really liked.
I said before we started recording, like to me, it's like a sci-fi western, which is like my two favorite things, like coming together. Yeah. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's
I've
also
seen the movie Cowboys and Aliens.
There's a slight little like
I concede, babe. I'm sorry. He's like sticking his tongue out at me.
There's like I heard this from a podcast one time, but the thing that she's growing in her fields doesn't grow in Kansas, and it grows mostly on like coastal states. So
She's growing sugarcane.
So what it's getting at is that the tides have come up and like half of America is like flooded or whatever. So that's why it's able to grow there now.
Oh, cool.
That's just a little tidbit.
So once again, just like thinking way too much.
I think that doesn't make any like.
Maybe I explained it wrong.
United States.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. Like
so you're saying
the water levels have
risen?
Is
gone?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
I think that's thinking way too much. I think
Shanghai was fine though. Whenever
I think they just threw some stuff in there and were like, yeah, they're farmers.
Yeah, but Garrett, I mean, there's so much trash in China.
I don't know. I'd have to look more into it again. But that's like it's just something where
I'm just saying, like it'd just be weird for, like, if it was to be the point where Kansas was a coastal city, Kansas would be almost the only thing left in America.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I don't know. They don't.
And again,
they don't
Shanghai
talk about anything else.
There, and Shanghai is a coastal city right now.
Hey, I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
That's all I heard in a podcast one time.
Yeah.
I feel like they just chose the wrong crap to say.
Yeah, I just think it was just an oversight. I really do.
I think she just doesn't know how to farm, and she thought sugarcane grew there.
It was growing pretty well. So.
He did say half of it was dead.
Oh shit! Visually, it looked good. So that's all I really had to say, really. So.
Okay. So now we get to hear from everyone's favorite closer, Tanner, or not Tanner, sorry, John.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to look up this sugarcane thing.
As the closer, let me tell you.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, alright. I'll start off by giving my rating 8 and liked.
Hell yeah.
The thing, like, I do like this movie and I feel like I want to watch it again, but I don't want to give it a love just because I have some things that I want to talk about too. But the reason why I want to watch it again is just because there was what you guys are talking about, just so much information to process and try to get through and explain during that 2-hour movie that I just kind of have to. I feel like I need to watch it to learn more, just things that I didn't pick up on the first time.
Yeah.
But one thing, it's just a funny thing that bothers me. But how can no one hit the fucking old Joe like with a gun? He's literally just in this mob boss area, and he's got this pistol at first, and there's like 4 of them shooting at him, and he literally is just standing in the open doorway, and no one can shoot him.
That's the thing, is he went to China and became like a badass, right? Where
he's level 60 and they're level 20.
These Gatman
hiding.
Gatman are basically mentally ill. Like Kid Blue is a moron.
It's like it was just that Stormtrooper-esque style of like shooting, where I was just so like, I don't know, just amazed at how how he didn't even get hurt during that whole time.
No, I think that's a super good point.
Yeah, like I like his character, and I like how they had the 2 different types of Jordan, and how like the older one is just so deranged and like kind of just offbeat about everything, and it just seemed like he was more like wild with his actions, and so I thought by the end of the movie like he would be kind of like struggling to keep moving and like try to kill the kid, but like the entire movie he wasn't hurt at all except for himself whenever he like cut his arm to get his attention. But that kind of bothered me a little bit. But did you guys notice that with the movie, the first half of it was so fast paced, trying to like get you involved with it and hooked on it, and then after that the second half was kind of like more mild and just set just where it was kind of progressing the storyline with the kid. I think it embodies the 2 different types of Joe. Like the first half is just kind of shows that older self and how he's just so crazy and fat, like, you know, on drugs and going at it 100% all the time. And then the second one is just him learning to, you know, love and to appreciate more of life and trying to get out of his own like personal habits.
I think you just kind of like summarized it. I think it turned into a slight love story, which is also why it happened. Like,
well, yeah, Joe falling in love in the future is what changed him. So now Joe fell in love much earlier, so he's going through that change now, right?
Yeah, and I think you keep bringing up that word destiny, Mike, and I really don't think that's the word. I don't think it's situation. Like destiny, that is not like none of
maybe more fate. I don't know. I know what you mean though. It's not really the right word, but I don't know what the right word is.
Like you're saying that like everybody has a set plan for them, and no matter what you're gonna do, like you're gonna be this. Like for Joe, he's gonna be this corrupt, evil guy at the end. Like I don't think that's the right way to put it.
But
like I think this movie is telling us that like you can change that, and
sure, but okay, so it's fighting destiny. It's fighting your fate because old Joe keeps telling young Joe, no, but this is what you're gonna have, and you're gonna want it. This is gonna be you. And he's like, well, I don't want to be you.
Yeah, I don't want that future. No, fighting it. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Okay. That was pretty much it. One last thing I appreciate though is the costume design, like how they were kind of making fun of him.
Dressing up
his
like
fashion.
that? Yeah,
like his retro fashion, his 20s or 2000s.
Oh yeah, 2000s
like,
fashion.
It was kind of funny, but at the same time, they at least stayed consistent with it, because even the older Joe had like an older style of fashion. Like he kept true to it. So I liked that too about the movie. But
that's true.
That's pretty much all I got to say.
That's such like a small detail that they kept throughout the movie that they did not I feel like they just didn't think about other detail in this movie. They thought about some detail. And they're like, oh, whatever about that other detail that we have over there. Who cares about that?
So the last thing that I wanted to say was the first time I watched this movie, I thought it was literally going to be a movie where old Joe comes back and they team up to take down the mob.
Dude, me too. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then when it turned into that, when it was like they're against each other, and then even when they're in the diner, and the Gatman see young Joe, and they just don't instantly like kill him or like beat him up. They're like, let's get future one. I was like, oh, now he's gonna team up with the mob, but no, it's like these 3 different forces against each other.
That like bothered me so much. I forgot to bring this up too. I kept like yelling at Gabe and Garrett because I'm just like, why not team up with your past self? Like when they have like the friend, what's his name, Seth. When they have Seth and future Seth comes in and like runs away. I'm like, doesn't Seth know how much of a fucking baby he is? Like. Doesn't he know? Like, I remember myself when I was young. I was fucking crying all the time. You know, like, so he just, like, books it, though. He doesn't give a shit about his past self. And I'm like, I mean, like, I feel like you have a partner, a perfect partner, yourself.
But
yourself is the perfect
so
partner.
that's going with, like, kind of what the movie's about, and, like, how they're these selfish asshole people that they're so selfish and self-centered that they won't even work with themselves.
Yeah, I guess that's true. No, yeah, point taken. That's super true. I just think that's dumb.
So, does anyone have anything left to say?
No.
Okay. Sorry, I was just taking a sip of water. So next week is a Julie pick. No, a Jared. A Jared pick. Sorry, caught myself as soon as I said it. Jared, what's next week? And give us a little insight.
All right. So I was thinking about this while discussing. If I were a crueler, much crueler man, I would make you guys watch Primer, and then we'd definitely be talking about time travel forever. That is a very confusing time travel movie. But I'm not a cruel man.
I'm gonna watch Inception.
Thank God.
So I'm thinking of a movie I've seen once. I watched it about a decade ago. It's good ratings critically. We'll have to do some reading. It's Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, okay.
Yes! Oh my God, I'm so excited. No, I've seen Pan's Labyrinth like 22 times. I've counted.
I've seen it.
I love that movie. I am
can't
excited.
read, so I can't.
Man, I've seen it
I'll
once.
just learn Spanish
when I was
real
like
quick then.
a little like in middle school or something.
I know a little bit.
Okay, it'll be
Man,
enlightening for you.
Not fondly.
It's so weird that our
I'm just kidding.
I probably didn't understand it.
it's so weird with our age differences because like I saw this like in high school, like late high school, and you're saying you saw it in middle school.
I don't know when exactly I saw, but I was young.
Yeah.
Jeff, my brother probably feels the same way you do. Like Dell, like he absolutely did not like we would watch that movie, but he had to like I don't know. We'll talk about it next week. So.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my pick.
It's a good choice.
All right. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We're all over social media now.
Yeah, we're all over social.
Social media. Yeah, sorry, my Discord's not picking up, but my OBS is picking it up. We'll see you next time. Say bye.
See ya.
Bye.